As students, we often find ourselves juggling between academic responsibilities and our spiritual obligations. But what if I told you that balancing studies and Islam isn't just possible, it can actually lead to success in both?
Assalamu alaikum. If you're new to my channel, I am Saika, a qualified alima, and in today's video I'm going to talk about how to balance between studies and faith. And I will give you some practical tips.
Remember that seeking knowledge, it's a form of worship in Islam. Make the intention that your studies are for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and seek His guidance in your learning. This mindset turns your academic efforts into a spiritual journey, giving you purpose and motivation.
Many of you must have come across the famous hadith, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ, that actions are judged by intentions. Intention is so important. Intention can change our entire day into an ibadah. So when we are students, we spend years and years of our life studying full-time, school, college or uni, wherever you're studying. You are going to spend many years of your life studying full-time. You don't have to treat your studies as if that's an action for this world and your religion is separate. Remember, Islam, it's a way of life. It's not just ibadah, it's how we spend our life. What we do in our day, everything is Islam. So when you wake up in the morning, if you do intention that I am doing this action today, I'm going to school, college or uni, whatever, I'm doing this action for Allah's sake. That entire day becomes an ibadah. Getting ready is an ibadah. The journey you're taking to your destination, the notes you're going to take in your class, the lunchtime you're going to have, everything you're going to do, throughout the day, because your intention was, I'm seeking this knowledge for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The entire day has become an ibadah. So intention, it's very powerful. Also, sometimes we initially have very strong intention. I'm doing this for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but then we forget. So, you're going to start your year with, very good intention. And then after some time, you get tired and you become lazy because the shaitan, he doesn't want you to do anything for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he's going to keep on coming and whispering to you and, you're going to feel lazy. You'd be like, it's a rainy day. I don't feel like going. I think I'm just feeling tired. So I think I'm going to miss a day. The moment you start missing school or college and you start becoming lazy in your studies, shaitan has actually achieved his objective. He wants you to be lazy and he doesn't want you to do anything for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, make sure you understand his traps and you don't listen to him. And intention will really help you. I personally, when I was a student, I used to do my intention daily. So I didn't personally do it straight away in the morning when I woke up. Every time I used to get to my building, just before entering the building, I used to remind myself that I am here seeking this knowledge for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because if I'm going to be a knowledgeable person, it's good for my deen. Because seeking knowledge is going to make me a strong believer. And in a hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has told us that a strong believer is better than a weak believer. So be a person of knowledge. It's going to make you a strong person. So after I started doing my intention daily, just before entering the building, it transformed my entire day. So before, when I used to get bored in my lessons, my attention span is not amazing. So I used to get bored and I would check my phone. After I started doing my intention daily, I would not check my social media, I would not check my email, nothing unnecessary in classes. Also, it changed my behavior. I was more careful how I was behaving with other class fellows and teachers. So the intention kept my behavior in check. It would kind of encourage me to be more helpful and try to inspire others. So that intention, it's going to transform your studies and your character, and it's going to make you a more helpful student. We don't treat studies separate from Islam. Our studies become ibadah. Our work, whatever we're doing, it all becomes ibadah with the power of intention. Also, apart from, renewing my intention every day, I used to start every lesson with du'as. There are special du'as for seeking knowledge, and I would highly recommend all students start your day with du'a. And inshallah, your entire journey is going to become beautiful and easy, and you're actually going to start to enjoy your studies and you won't feel stressful, and there's going to be so much barakah in your studies. I'll leave some of the du'as which I personally used to recite in the description box. So, you can just take a screenshot if you want to. Once you've understood the importance of intention and how it's going to bring your deen and dunya together, my next tip is prioritize your day around salah. Start your day with Fajr. There is so much barakah in Fajr. You can get to do so many things if you wake up early. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whenever he used to pray salah, he used to say this is time to relax. So throughout a whole day, we do so many things and they can be a bit stressful. But salah can give us that break and relax us. And when you've had that little break and you come back to your studies, you'll actually feel more fresh. If you're someone who's lazy in salah, then maybe you can set some sort of reminders for yourself, or maybe surround yourself around those people who actually pray salah, because every time that person is going to go to pray salah, that's a reminder for you as well. Also, if you're young, you're in school, or you're new to salah, just start your salah with fard. Just pray the fard, because fard is so easy. It literally just takes few minutes. And once you become very strong with your fara'id, only then start increasing and adding the sunan. So always start, with something which is easy, but the key is to be consistent. Be steady and consistent. And once you become very strong with all the fara'id, you don't miss your fard salahs, only then start incorporating the sunans and the nawafil. Something I would recommend you all should keep in your school bags, it's a travel prayer mat. I got this for free, but you can buy them online. They're very cheap. The benefit of having a prayer mat is that I understand in certain, unis or colleges, they do have prayer rooms, but sometimes the prayer room is going to be in one campus and you are another one, and it takes a lot of time to travel. And you just might not have enough time because you have a lesson straight after that, especially in winters when the salah time is so short and you don't have time to always go to the prayer room. So having a prayer mat just helps, wherever you see an empty room, just quickly go and pray there. And also make sure you download an app which tells you the Qibla direction. So when we need to pray salah, obviously we need to do wudu as well. And a practical tip I would give you for wudu is that make wudu from home. And when you've done the wudu, wear thick socks, even like medium thickness socks is fine. And once you've done wudu, and you wear socks after that, so if you need to renew your wudu later on, you don't have to wash your feet again. You can just wipe over them. So just make sure they are not see-through socks, so the water should not seep through them and touch your feet, touch your skin. And make sure you wear the socks after you've done wudu in the morning. And then after that, throughout the day for 24 hours, every time you need to make wudu, you don't have to wash your feet, because it's not very comfortable washing your feet when you are using public facilities, when there's other students all around you as well. So yeah, you can just easily swipe over your socks. Also, when doing the masa on your head, it can be a bit difficult at times if you've got just say a 10-minute break, and that 10-minute break you need to do wudu and you need to pray salah. It's quite long, just taking your hijab off and putting it all over again. So it's kind of a good idea to be aware that there are some easier opinions out there to do masa on the head. So if you're Hanafi, then it's a quarter of the head. Malik is a bit strict, it has to be full head. As for Shafis, their opinion is actually the easiest. The minimum hair that need to be wet, that you need to wipe on, is 3 strands of hair. And doesn't have to be from the front, they can be from the back. So just take your hand in the hijab and just wipe hair. And obviously we all do love performing the full wudu with all the sunan acts, but if there is less time, it's okay, you can just perform the fara'id acts of wudu. And from the fara'id acts, it's basically just washing 4 limbs. So it's your arms, your face, masa of the head, and washing your feet, or you can just do masa of the feet. From the fara'id acts is that you can actually wash all the limbs only once as well. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has washed all his limbs once as well. He's also done it twice. And obviously the sunnah, which he used to do more often, is to wash the limbs 3 times. If you have time, then obviously do full wudu. And if you don't have time, you're very short on time, then it's okay, you can wash your limbs once or twice. Just make sure the entire limb is wet. Also for socks, I forgot to mention, you cannot wear ankle socks. Make sure your ankles are covered. Once again, if you are someone who is new to praying salah, try to do things which are easy for you and try to be consistent. My 3rd tip is have a study plan. By having a study plan which focuses on barakah, it's not about getting a lot of work done. Sometimes we think, if I can do a lot of work, I've had a very good productive day. That's not barakah. Barakah is whatever you do, you get maximum benefit out of it. It's not about the quantity, it's all about the quality. If you can do one action and get a lot of benefit out of that, that's more worthwhile than doing 100 things, but you don't remember anything. They don't have no impact on you, and they just didn't add any value to your life. So as Muslims, if we actually want barakah in our life, our day should revolve around salah. Salah should be the priority in our day. When we start our day with Fajr, Fajr has blessing. It has so much barakah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has told us himself. As a student, when I made my study plan, the first things in my plan were all the salah times. So I would write Fajr time, Dhuhr time, Asr time, all the salah times. And then the entire day would revolve around salah. So after Fajr, I've got time. These are the things I'm going to fit in after Fajr. After Dhuhr, I'm going to fit in these things. I will do these things. So my salah did not work around everything else. Everything else worked around salah. And that adds so much barakah in your life. Wallahi, adds so much barakah. I don't remember getting stressed in my studies. I was so relaxed and actually really enjoyed my studies. I never felt pressurized. Also, another benefit of having a study plan was that I felt so much more in control on how much time I want to spend on my entertainment. So I did use my social media. I used to watch stuff on YouTube. But because I had a study plan, I knew exactly how much time I'm going to spend on these apps and exactly when I have to stop. And that really keeps you more focused and you get less distracted. By having a study plan, over time, you'll realize you'll actually start to understand the value of time. Our life, it is time. And, if we just let this time slip away, it's waste of our life. We can't be wasting our life. We're here for a purpose. And if we want to achieve our goals, we want to achieve our purpose, we have to understand the value of time. Having the right balance in everything, it's very beneficial to your physical health, to your mental health, and your spiritual well-being. Don't overdo anything. So that's why I really emphasize, whatever you do, take it nice and easy. Your ibadah, do the fara'id nice and easy. Make sure you take break. Make sure you take time out for yourself. My teacher, he actually used to say to us, during our studies, whenever we would have like a break for 10 minutes, we just used to get lazy and not get out of the class. And he used to say, make this hijrah. Go out of the class and walk around, get some fresh air. And when you come back, you'll actually be more focused in class. And that little mini hijrah actually really used to help, because when you take that break and when you come back, your mind is fresh all over again and you can actually continue with your studies. But you should be careful when you're taking that break, because sometimes, your mind is just working so well and you're getting so many ideas. And if you take a break at that time, and then you come back, those ideas will not come. So obviously you have to be smart when you take your break as well. So just make sure you have that time to relax, where you're just walking, you're getting fresh air, and you're doing some zikr, and it's really going to relax. Also, have some time where you just can relax and recite the Quran. Make sure you take those breaks, because Quran is a break, or zikr, it's a beautiful break. Just going out and walking in the fresh air, it's so nice. You feel so refreshed. So don't overdo anything. Relax, don't burn out. Also, sometimes students, they do less, but they stress too much, and that stress really burns them out. Don't stress too much. What's stress going to do? There's no benefit of it. Seriously, stress is just repetitive overthinking. You're just stressing too much, but you're not putting in any work. It's really no point. I loved my degree in accounting and finance and Alamiya, but the degree was stressful because my focus was results. Alamiya was not stressful because I was taking every day as it came. If you're enjoying the journey, don't worry about the results. 100% inshallah, they will be very good. My fifth tip is that create a supportive environment. Join study groups with like-minded people who want to balance the Deen and Dunya, who understand the importance of religion and studies. And this support can be from your family and friends. Now, when it comes to family, we don't have a choice, but friends, we do have a choice. So be wise who you choose to be your friends. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a man is on the religion of his friends. What he is telling us is that we do get inspired by our friends. We do get influenced by them. And if you have friends who understand the importance of salah, who understand the importance of study, who understand the importance of good character, you will embody these qualities from them as well. So be very careful of who you choose as friends. And also, don't be the weak one who's always getting influenced by others. Try to be the one who inspires others, who has an impact and influences others in a positive way. And my final tip is continue seeking knowledge. So, when you are studying full time, there's a lot of pressure on studies, and we just spend all that time seeking academic education. But just imagine you spend so many years studying full time, academic education. But alongside, if you continue learning a little bit about Islam, maybe one hadith one day, the next day you learn, one ayah of the Quran, the third day you read a Sahaba story. After about 3, 4, 5 years, you would have learned so much about Islam. As our knowledge increases, it becomes easier to balance Deen and Dunya. When our knowledge is limited, we don't understand. We think everything is separate and we just don't know how to balance things. As your knowledge increases, it helps you to weigh all of your actions against Quran and Sunnah. Also, it helps you to be more self-reflective. So you actually ponder more on your own actions and you're less concerned with others' actions. And all of these qualities, you will only get them as your knowledge increases. So learn slowly. You don't have to learn too much because, again, we don't want to burn out. But if you can continue learning for many years, you'll be half alim by the time you leave your studies. I'm sure there are many other tips some students use to balance their studies and religion, and maybe you can share them in the comment section so others can benefit from them too. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.